Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Joseph here once again. Today, let's take an in-depth look at my 1965 Cushman Truckster. This will be a full, in-depth tour of my Cushman. We'll start it up, show the engine, and show you many of the features on the interior as well as the exterior. So, without further ado, let's go on and get started, shall we? Before we begin, I will be discussing the history of the Cushman nameplate. So, let's get started, shall we? Cushman is a manufacturer of industrial, personal, and custom vehicles. It is currently based in Augusta, Georgia, United States, and is owned by Textron Corporation. The formerly known Cushman Motor Works was a subsidiary vehicle manufacturer that was founded in 1903 by Everett and Clinton Cushman. The headquarters is located in the United States. Their products include motor scooters and industrial vehicles, and as again stated, was currently owned by its parent company, Textron Corporation. The Cushman Scooter Company started in 1903 in Lincoln, Nebraska by Everett and Clinton Cushman. The company incorporated as Cushman Motor Works in 1913. Cushman began production of their four-stroke Husky engine in 1922. Cushman produced engines for farm equipment, pumps, lawnmowers, and boats, and Cushman began making Autoglide scooters in 1936 as a means to increase the sale of their Husky engines during the Great Depression. Cushman scooters were widely used by the United States Armed Forces in World War II as an alternative to automobiles before and after the war. One famous Cushman was the Model 53, a military model from the World War II era designed to be dropped by parachute with the Army Airborne Troops. It became known as the Cushman Airborne. Other models were used on military bases for messenger services. The most successful model of the Cushman scooter, the Eagle, was in production approximately 16 years. It resembled a motorcycle with its exposed engine and a top tank. Other Cushman models, like the post-war Turtleback Model 50 and 60, or the Economy Highlander, used by a step-through design common for scooters. The step-through design and ease of operation made it popular with men and women alike. Some late 1950s Cushmans, designed Road King and Pacemaker, had jet-age body styling. Sears sold a version of these models under the Allstate brand. Cushman scooters featured an automatic centrifugal clutch, which allowed the rider to twist the right grip to accelerate. Oddly, the throttle twisted forward during acceleration, opposite the usual pattern in most other motorcycles and scooters. Cushman claimed 75 miles per gallon and advertised penny-a-mile operation costs. Cushman scooters usually weighed about 250 to 335 pounds and had as much as 9 horsepower, or 6.7 kW. In comparison to European scooters, Cushman scooters had a higher weight, larger cubic capacity up to 0.41, but no more horsepower. In 1958, 15,000 scooters were produced by Cushman. Scooter production ended in 1965, but some remaining Eagles were sold as late as 1966 models. After the scooter production ceased, Cushman manufactured golf carts, industrial vehicles, and turf maintenance equipment. In Belgium, there was a licensed product of Cushman scooters under the label Belgian Cushman. Cushman Trucksters were produced from 1952 to 2002. Small and lightweight duty vehicles, they have been used for ice cream sales, mail, and stadium events, and by the New York Police Department. Cushman became a division of the Outboard Marine Corporation, or OMC, in 1962. Ransoms of Great Britain purchased Cushman in 1989, and then Textron purchased Ransoms. The following models were available in the Cushman lineup: the Model 50, Model 60, the Highlander, the Eagle, Holster, which was a small multi-purpose vehicle, a vehicle like mine, the Cushman Truckster. There was the Bellhop Series golf carts, Tug, larger vehicle, the Minimizer truck, Titan, large industrial multi-purpose truck, the Model C engine, patented in 1911, 4 horsepower or 3.0 kW, commonly known for driving oat blenders, Trackster, a track-based ATV, Golfster, a golf cart with 3 and 4-wheel design, Motor Scooter, the Airborne 2-wheel, the Model 53, which is the G683, the Model Scooter packaged Delivery 3-wheel, model 39, G551 or G672. The motor scooter with the sidecar 3-wheel, model 34, the G679. And the Trailster off-road model. West Coaster Mailster, used by the United States Mail Service, is also common. The Jacobson model made by Cushman. So there you have it. That's the history of the Cushman Corporation. Let's go back and take a look at my 65 Cushman Truckster now. Now that we've gone over the history of the Cushman nameplate, let me go on and tell you about this one after we get it going. So let's go and start it up and see how it does. The startup process on this is a little bit different than a traditional vehicle. What I usually like to do before I try and start it is I will check the points to make sure they're clean and set. Yep, they're nice and clean. And then I will check the oil. So let's go around. Pull the dipstick. Make sure it's got plenty of oil. Yeah, it's got plenty of oil. Okay, we're now ready to try and start the vehicle. I already added some brake fluid to it, so that's already been done on the checklist. Next thing you want to do, pull the choke out, and we'll give it a couple pumps. Grab the key here. This used to be the windshield washer motor, but since the windshield washer arm has gone missing, I just use it as a buzzer to let me know that I've got power. So that's why you'll hear that buzz when I turn it on. Allows the electricity to prime. Okay. So let's give this thing a try, shall we? Starts right up. Over here is your throttle control. Allows you to basically set a cruise control on the vehicle if you're driving at long distances. So, give it more throttle. You can bring the stick up, twist it down. It's kind of like a mixture control on your airplane. Pretty handy. So, let's go and turn on the headlight. And check out the exterior. As I said, this is a 1965 Cushman Truckster. It's built on a tricycle frame design. So it's basically a scooter with a truck body on it and an enclosed cab. This vehicle was originally built in 1965 for the Augusta Pratt & Whitney assembly plant in Augusta, Georgia, and was used to run parts and supplies to and from the maintenance hangars that built the engines at the Pratt & Whitney Aircraft Assembly in Augusta, Georgia. In the 1970s, when the FAA passed a law that gasoline-powered utility vehicles would not be allowed to be used in aircraft maintenance facilities, the vehicle was then sold at a wholesale to the Georgia Pacific Railroad in the 1970s and served its time at the Georgia Pacific Railroad station, running tools and other supplies on the Georgia Railroad. After the 1980s to the 1990s, the vehicle was again sold to one of my grandfather's neighbors, who took the vehicle in, repaired it, got it running, used it for a short period, and then my grandfather obtained the vehicle in 2008 or 2009, where it stayed with my grandfather for a number of years, and then in 2017 I obtained the vehicle as the fourth owner. Let's take a look at the engine, shall we? The engine, we're going to turn it off. The engine you see here is an Outboard Motor Corporation slant twin, so the cylinders fire in a sideways configuration. It is 10 horsepower, mated to a 3-speed manual transmission on the column. So I will demonstrate how the transmission works in a moment. But this is the original engine. The Outboard Motor Corporation has been around since the 1960s, and they bought Cushman Corporation back in the 1980s to use as a utilitarian vehicle up until about the late 1980s, early 1990s, before Cushman was eventually dismantled and done away with. So let's go on and see if we can take this thing for a short little drive here. I'll demonstrate the transmission. I'm going to grab my tripod. The transmission is actuated. So up and forward is reverse, back is first gear, down and up is second, and down and back is third, or overdrive. So, again, reverse, first, second, third, middle is neutral. Okay, let's go for a ride, shall we? Up and back, I believe it's reverse. Up and forward, actually. Testing the brakes, make sure they're good. Here we go. I'm going to turn you around so you can see what it's like to ride in this. guys, I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look of my 1965 Cushman Truckster. If you liked the video, be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Take care.